Okay, so I'm back with another video, and in this video, I'm talking about the soul. Like, does our soul design our own birth charts? Okay, like the who we are, because remember, this is an avatar. That we're seeing ourselves in physical form. It's really like a game. Video games would not exist if there was not a here tale of, it already taking place. I told you, in a higher form. It's just as gods. How you want to call yourself? You want to say you're demigods, whatever you want to say. Listen, us as our higher selves has already designed it. Like, we know that it exists, and we put it back. We got different souls circling the universe, coming in and coming out, dropping information. Because if you think about the mind, we're just one big freaking think tank. You hear what I'm saying? There are different levels of soul beings here at any given time. This, at the time that we're finding ourselves in right now, and I will continue to say this, like the transformation we took and the energetic shift we took, there's people waking up on all levels. But if you just really thinking about it, there are some individuals, especially up until this point, they were in what seemed to be a fantasy world. They had no idea of what's going and coming, especially like previous generations or whatever. Like, they had no idea what was going on. Like, they were easily tricked. They just felt like all that mattered, all that there was what was right in their vicinity. I don't even know if we can live 2D, because I was going to say 2D is possible, but I'm going to go ahead and say 3D is possible. Like, whatever you want to call it. And so the reason why I'm saying this is because there's different levels of soul beings here on this planet. Now, because of that, yes, some of the souls that come and incarnate themselves on the planet, they're here to learn. They're looking at it as a school. Then, and I'm going to do a separate video on this, guys, but just follow me here, okay? Then you have those soul beings that come in and to do a work, or they have to come in and, repeat karma, coming over there. They could see it as more of a prison because they're being sentenced. And you can say, oh, well, how is that possible for both to exist? How you free and in prison at the same time? Very simple. Just like we're living right now, and we have individuals that's free and some are in prison at the same time. Okay? So let's just, we're getting certain things out the way. So the reason why I'm saying this is because of the fact that our souls, because I feel like this, I'm going to go here and then I'm going to do a separate video, because I kind of want to make you guys think a little bit. If you think about it, I feel like there are those individuals that will say, no, they did not. They are not responsible for creating their chart and coming into the world and being who they are and what they are and living their chart out, because of the fact that they resent their life. They don't like what they went through. It's kind of like, well, why would I sign up to come here, okay, to experience A, B, or C? To experience hardship, to experience heartbreak. But, I had a conversation with someone that's enlightened as well, okay, that also presented the fact that when we experience certain things that are deemed to be, or on surface, or, on a very physical level, outside of the soul, existence, when we experience things that could be traumatic, abusive, hard, we look at it as negative and not good. And I get that. But when we can resolve those issues, and when we're not stuck and bound in that trauma, when we can resolve a lot of that karma with whatever work we do, or however we look at it, or the awakening that it triggers us to do, okay, to become aware, because that's really what it is, it becomes, and being on the other side of that, and evolving, actually evolving past a certain state of being to where now you don't have to repeat it. You don't have to repeat the abuse. You're not stuck by the trauma, right? Getting on the other side of that all makes it worth it, because you would have never been able to understand what it looks like on the other side without being in it to trigger or to push you to get to the other side. And then to get yourself out of it, it's like a reward within itself. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because, like I said before, there are individuals that's kind of like, listen, don't sit here and tell me that I designed my own freaking chart to go through these things. And then you have those other individuals that want to feel empowered, and they want to feel like they can change the trajectory of their existence by understanding that they were the sole creator of their chart. I feel like it's kind of like looking at the glass half empty, glass half full. And I also feel like it's intuitive. There are those individuals, I feel like intuitively, okay, we don't know how, like, what level of soul or training or or level of education that we are on when we come to this planet. We don't know that. Like, I feel like once we start becoming aware collectively, that's something that maybe we'll have more insight on or whatever. That's neither here nor there. But I feel like intuitively, maybe an individual knows, even subconsciously or outside of what they can physically tell you. Like, if this is something that they've created for themselves, or if it was like the hand dealt by God, like almost as if, okay, go, I'm gonna give you an example, and then I'm gonna have to get off and then come back because I have something that I have to go do. Being at a school. Now, I'm saying this because I've seen this happen firsthand. Let's say you're getting your class schedule. There's those ones that come and they pick out their classes that they want, and they get those classes, and then if they fail or they're uninterested or whatever, they're kind of like, man, why did I choose this class? I thought I would like it. But they feel more empowered because they feel like, well, the next time I know I ain't gonna take this, or, you know, since I sign up ahead of time, I can go change this, or, you know, this is my fault, I can always make it better, you know, whatever. Then you have those individuals, for whatever reason, maybe they came to the school new, maybe something malfunctioned and they got their schedule late, and the counselor just drew up their schedule and was like, we're gonna put you in this class over here, yeah, go. And the person feels like, well, dang, I didn't want to be in this class. I did not want to be in this virtual design class. I'm not even interested in it. I don't want to be in PE first period. Are you crazy? I don't want to be in math 10 or 1. What am I talking? I don't want to be in advanced math. Whatever the case may be. They feel disempowered on the on-site because they're like, why did you deal me this hand of classes? But let's say they get into those classes and they find out, like, really virtual design was a thing all along, and then they get a career in that area, and then they making lots of money, and they're doing something that makes them happy. What if they get in that class and they meet somebody that helps them meet somebody else, and then years down the line they come back and they get married to that person? There's so many what ifs that took place because they embraced what it was, or they got dealt a hand that seemed disempowering, but at the same time it ended up being something that they should have or they needed to experience. And that is the same way I look at, you know, whether we as souls create our birth charts on our own, or we create the chart that we want to play out, or the ones of us that feel like we don't. Listen, guys, I'm multi-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? I be hearing people say so many different things, and I don't want to come from a limited place. You know, it's all about perception. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. This conversation could definitely continue. Okay, I will definitely continue this conversation. Y'all know I don't mind. You know I'm gonna be back. You know I'm gonna do all those things. Okay, so in between time, I want you to come back and join me. All right. And like I said, you can definitely input and add what it is that you would like to add to the conversation, your insight, okay? And yeah, thank you for watching.